All right, welcome back to the Octagon podcast. Today we're here with Robi Cvitic from Cleveland. He currently fights out of Aries Combat Sports Academy. Robi, thanks for being here.
No problem, man. It's an honor to be here.
So you got a fight coming up soon. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I got a fight coming up March 23rd. Should be against a pretty good opponent. He fought on my last card, so I got to see a little bit of what he was about.
Yeah. He won by, he had a weird win.
Yeah, his win was a little weird. So they ended up getting to the third round, and he kicked him in the head, which you're not allowed to do in amateur. And I guess the kid got tweaked or something, threw up or something.
Yeah.
So they ended up washing the whole third round and just scoring it based off the first two. And
Yeah, I didn't know what they were gonna do because like they waited so long that the kid eventually started like puking.
Yeah.
So we were like, I don't know if they're gonna DQ. His name's Tommy.
Tommy.
I don't know if they're gonna DQ Tommy or if they're gonna let the other guy win. I didn't know what was gonna happen. But I mean, yeah, he won via like head kick, which you're not allowed to do. How do you feel about that, by the way?
Not allowed to do head kicks. How do I feel about that? Personally, I don't care. It doesn't alter my game too much.
True.
It's one less thing you have to look out for. So.
That's true. Yeah. But you obviously you drill head kicks. all the time and whatnot, and elbows and whatnot too.
Yeah. I'm ready for whatever. In different states, you're also allowed to head kick. You know, if I go to Kentucky or West Virginia, you are allowed to throw head kicks in amateur.
Right.
So kind of depends on the state.
Are you kind of like, more inclined to like stay in the Cleveland area at first and kind of fight more here and build it up?
First, yes, I would like to stay in Ohio more so, try to climb up the Ohio rankings.
Okay.
But I'm open to go anywhere. Don't matter that much to me.
I was gonna say, a lot of Ohio fighters get, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, like you said, Kentucky fights and whatnot.
I get more people to go if I fight local, so more
for
tickets.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I say if you can, capitalize on all your boys going and family members and whatnot, it's easier for them to go.
Yeah.
So it always works out better like that. That's sweet.
It's always nice to fight in Cleveland.
That's sweet. Yeah. And then let's talk a little bit about like your last fight. So obviously it was like your MMA debut.
Yeah.
Dope armbar finish.
Yeah.
Dope armbar finish.
Like how did that like feel just to obviously be training for so long and then actually go in there and put it all together and do it?
Yeah, it was a long time coming. I've been training for quite some time, probably fighting since I was about 14, 15. And took a little break for a while when I started working, got caught up in work and all that. And then just finally decided it was time to go back and finally get in there. So I ended up getting in there when I was 20. A little later than I would have liked, but
how old were you? How old were you about when you took your like first one then?
When I took my first break?
I know when you were like looking to get your first fight.
The goal was to fight when I was 18. But that was right about when I started getting caught up in work and getting a little lazy.
Okay. And then eventually just came around time to be your 20 with like obviously, the previous bout being canceled, whatnot.
Yeah.
Did you how'd you feel about, the night in general, getting the win? How did that like make you feel?
It felt awesome. I mean, I was just zoned in.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty calm. I guess nervous isn't really the right word for it. It was more so excited to finally,
put on a show.
Show what I know.
Right.
Regardless of the outcome. And
you said you've been wrestling your whole life, right?
Yeah, most of my life, yeah.
Yeah, but I say so. Yeah, you had a pretty good takedown. Your jiu-jitsu's obviously pretty good. I mean, you had probably one of the better wins of the night, let alone like one of the only submissions of the night.
Yeah, stuck to the game plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew he was going to be a skilled opponent. I did get him on 2 weeks' notice, so I knew he wasn't anyone to joke around with. 0-0s could really be anything.
Yeah.
So I knew he was going to be a skilled opponent. Plan was to take him to the ground. He's a boxer, so I knew once it went to the ground, it was probably going to go in my favor.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah. And then you ended up you got slammed at one point through the armbar, and you just stuck through it.
Yeah, before the fight, I actually told a few people I was planning on hitting a triangle during that fight.
Okay.
And I did end up getting him in a triangle, and I just felt it wasn't going to work. He wasn't going to tap to it. He was tough. He almost didn't even tap to the armbar.
I know, dude. We were when I was watching it from the backside, so I just saw he was holding you up damn near.
Yeah.
You were like hanging on him.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
He wanted to pick me up, and then he did pick me up when I had the triangle and I got slammed. I knew it wasn't going to be that bad. So
the triangle was the game plan.
Triangle is, I like my triangles a lot. I actually don't hit arm bars very often until after that. Once I did that arm bar, once I started going to JIS tournaments, started utilizing them a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw you switch to. Did you finish belly down in the?
Yeah. So I had the arm bar. I had it pretty tight, and in my head, I'm just kind of waiting for this guy to tap.
Yeah.
Which is what you shouldn't wait for the guy to tap. You should break his arm if you have to.
For sure.
And then he wasn't tapping, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to break his arm.
Yeah, you just try to leverage it out.
And then I went belly down.
Yeah.
Took his arm as a souvenir. Yeah.
And then you got up, and then you hit like a. You follow Sugar Sean? Sean O'Malley?
Sean O'Malley, yeah.
Yeah, you when you got up, you'd like probably not even knowing it. You did like the Sugar Show, Selly.
Yeah.
You put your arms out and like we're running around. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
sweet, dude. Yeah, it was definitely one of the better like wins of the night. And then like we knew that you were obviously from Aries and whatnot. A couple of your boys are fighting on that card too.
Yeah.
I believe one of the 185ers, right?
Well, Dom fought on that card.
Yeah.
And then Will was supposed to. He goes between like 205 and heavyweight.
Okay.
But he was supposed to fight, and his fight got scratched, I think, 2 days before it was supposed to happen. Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered. In amateurs, it's not like, it's not like the UFC where they're going to necessarily go out and like be able to even find a guy just to come in on like 2 days notice.
Yeah.
It's not, it's kind of like, once it's done, it's done. So yeah, that's very interesting though. But I mean, yeah, like I would like to say just congrats on like getting your MMA debut. That's really impressive, especially by armbar. Getting a win in your MMA debut is sweet. So, and that night was pretty good. I mean, the card was, I thought like the entire card was sweet. There was a lot of great fights. It was like a packed house too.
Yeah, I thought the card was pretty good. And that was my first fight, but I do like that facility a lot.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely
pretty cool how everyone's around the cage rather than on one side of it.
Yeah, it's pretty
They're
neat.
Not too strict on where the spectators can stand or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then they got the nice table setups and whatnot, so like you can actually like enjoy it and watch the fight. And it's good like eye level. And that facility's pretty neat, like you said. So that's sweet.
How many people can they fit in attendance?
I have no idea. How many people do you think were in there?
I'm not too
I couldn't.
sure.
I was telling people.
I'm pretty sure general admission ended up selling out. Though.
It seemed.
It did. No, dude. It
like
was very packed.
Yeah.
But it was. If I had to guess, give or take, I'd say around 3,000 people.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, who knows?
Maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
Maybe a little
around
less.
there. Yeah, it was definitely like. It was packed house. It was like a pretty big room space too.
I didn't even really notice how many people were there until watching videos afterwards.
It was dark though, dude. The people were packed like to the wall in that thing, dude.
Yeah, watching videos afterwards, I'm like, damn, there was a good amount of
there
people.
was a lot of people. Yeah.
So in the moment, you're what's kind of going through your head? Like I know you said you were kind of it wasn't so much nerves, but more just along the lines of like calmness.
It was just kind of the way I like to do my camp is I like to stay calm. I don't like to get too hyped up or listen to any crazy music, trying to murder a guy. Yeah. I like to stay calm and just go with the flow. I know what I know. Just got to show it on fight night. So.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
And then I know you guys do like a fair bit of sparring, right?
Yeah, we spar 2 days a week, and then sometimes we go to other gyms when need be.
Yeah, did you guys went to Gracie Orwell not too long ago?
Griffin Raw.
Griffin Raw.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah,
that was fun.
I better say you guys did a lot of sparring, didn't you?
Yeah, we did like 20-something rounds. That was good work.
Yeah, that's insane.
20 rounds, yeah. Yeah, that's a good sparring.
Yeah, dude. So in general, in terms of like fighting, like why do you think like you fight? Like why fight?
I don't know. I mean, I wrestled my whole life. I'm very competitive. Always have been. I did a lot of sports growing up, and once I got to high school, I stuck with just wrestling. I like personal sports more than like team sports, just because I don't like being able to blame my team if I lose. It's kind of all on you.
Yeah.
And really, it was just wrestling. There's not much you can do with it unless you are really, really good. You go to the Olympics or like there's no way to really make any money off it or anything like that.
Very true.
So fighting was the next alternative. I got into that once I slowed down with wrestling a little bit and just went from there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's I went to where'd you go to high school again? North Royalton?
North Royalton.
Yeah.
Well, Brunswick most of my life, and then I graduated from North Royalton.
Okay,
I went there for like 2-3 years.
Yeah, I went to Aurora. And there's a kid at Aurora named Dylan Fishback who wrestles, and he just won like the junior flow tournament for his weight.
Yeah.
He's doing like pretty good things. I believe he wrestles at I don't actually forget where he wrestles now, but regardless, it's like in wrestling, if you're not on that path to like go to like you said the Olympics or something like that along those lines, then it's like
There's not too much you can do with it.
You either have to go into fighting or you have to like leverage it into like coaching or like private lessons or something along those lines. So, and I think definitely fighting's the cooler avenue. So
yeah, I mean, I love doing it.
Yeah, that's sweet. So you have a quick turnaround, arguably, for like your next fight. I mean, it's only been like a couple months. So like, what are you doing like day to day, every week to week? You say?
A little heavy right now, so I got to get the weight down, which is always the worst part. But
what do you like? What's your ideal weight for the fight?
I fight 125. That's the weight class.
Yeah.
I usually walk around like 138, 140.
Okay.
From there.
Okay, cool. So you just want to stay around like maybe like 10 pounds, 9 pounds, give or
Around
take
10
over.
pounds, yeah. I get the last final push with 2 weeks or so before the fight. So right now it's not too bad.
How do you go about like managing that? Is it more like kind of like, obviously you've been wrestling, or you've wrestled,
Wrestling
so you
helps a lot.
Yeah, you kind of
sure.
have like that already
just,
ingrained in you how to like cut that weight.
How to cut the weight, but yeah, it's just water loading, and then finally it's just sweating it out at the end. You got to watch what you eat, calorie deficit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not really too bad.
Yeah, it's kind of.
The last few days suck. The last few days do suck.
What do you like nutrition wise? Are you like going to anybody or no? Not really. You kind of just you took
Honestly, I do not eat as good as I should. I eat pretty bad until I need to pay attention.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
A lot of junk food until I need to pay attention.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, that's everybody though, dude. I mean, like junk food just tastes good, so it's just like I don't know. The shit that's good for you
Food's great.
doesn't taste too good. Yeah. So, but yeah, what else do you want to ask them?
I guess you said earlier that you never really watched UFC or like MMA.
Yeah.
So I guess what kind of inspired you still to like keep up with?
I don't know. I love
fighting?
it. Like I love watching fighting on all aspects. Honestly, I just can't find it in myself to like keep up with it. I don't really keep up with the rankings as much as I should. I've been trying to more recently, but
there's so. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm like a really crazy fan. It's hard. Like there's a lot. There's like speculative talk about Dana finally breaking on the weight class additions, so he's probably he's gonna add some.
Oh yeah, he's adding 65 and 75, I think, and taking out 70 or something down those lines.
He's doing something different, so it's just gonna get more complex. So I mean, dude, like I pay attention enough now. You said you watched some of the bigger fights.
Yeah.
What was the last one you watched?
Like I watched the Strickland fight.
Yeah. What you think about that?
Good fight. I
was gonna say, yeah. Did you?
I think he lost. I think he waited way too long to get going.
That's what a lot of people. That's what Dana even said. It's like
It's a close fight. Could have went either way probably, but at the end of the fight, I think he was doing great. He was landing all his punches in the last round. He definitely won the last round.
The last round for sure. Yeah.
He just waited.
He just waited too long.
Yeah, and I mean, coming from a wrestler standpoint, Drick has had, the takedowns and the ground control. So it's like.
I mean, can't leave it up to the judges at the end of the day.
Exactly.
No, definitely not.
Did you watch did you watch Strickland versus Adesanya? When he won the belt?
I don't think I watched the fight. Saw
incredible.
A lot of highlights of it though.
Dude, that was incredible.
Those last couple seconds when Strickland realized that he was like about to win the fight, you felt like you were there, dude. Like it was wow.
Whenever I watch fights now, like whether it be UFC or an amateur fight or anything, I'm like shaking every time. I watch fights.
Dude. But just about to say, we were watching the Izzy and Strickland fight. First round, he hits him with obviously the straight, and then I don't even know, maybe 20 left hooks against the cage, like just ruining his face.
Saw that,
and I almost got like evicted from this place. I'm like, we're like jumping so loud, like all the boys are up. We're like, what is happening? There's like no way. Credit to Izzy though, he took all those shots, dude.
He ate them in the first, big time.
Yeah, dude. And I mean,
he was gassed though, like compared to how he normally looks at the end of a fight.
But he didn't get knocked out 5-5 cold.
Is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We fight 3 3s. Take that to 5-5s. It's a massive difference. 3 minute to 5 minute rounds is a big difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You definitely get exhausted.
What's it like trying to maintain your stamina, I guess, and not gas out the second you walk in?
Well, in my last fight, that was honestly like 70% of what was going through my head is don't get tired. I've had some smokers before, so I know how easy it is to gas out if you're not paying attention to your gas tank. Mm-hmm. So I got the takedown, and after I got that takedown, I just did everything very slowly. In my head, I'm just like, all right, don't get tired, like take your time. And I said everything really slowly. I don't know. It all went to plan.
Yeah, say he got the first round finish though.
It was pretty badass.
Barely even sweating respectfully. So, it was. So they're all 3-round, 3-minute.
Every amateur, is 3.
And then and then that night though there was 2 pros, correct?
2 pros. Pros are 3-5s. And I believe amateur title fights are 3-5s. I'm not positive.
That's what I because I remember the 2 pro fights were sandwiched in between. There was the amateur title fight.
Yeah.
And I think that one was I believe it was 5 rounds just because it was a title.
I'm not too sure how title fights in amateur go.
All right, well you'll get there when you get there.
Yes, sir.
So,
that's the plan.
Deal with it when it comes. But yeah, dude, the UFC, I mean, like you said, it's hard to keep up with like everything that's going on. Like I know Dom keeps up pretty well with like the rankings, like the local Ohio rankings and whatnot. Like, what do you think about like the Cleveland scene in general? Like, are you happy to fight in Cleveland? And like,
I'm happy to fight in Cleveland. I think Northeastern Ohio specifically is a lot more wrestling heavy than a lot of areas you'll go fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because everyone knows Northeastern Ohio is pretty good at wrestling. Same with PA. A lot of good known wrestlers. So yeah.
And I mean Indiana, anywhere really around here is gonna have like good wrestlers.
Yeah, there's a lot of wrestling around here.
Yeah, for sure. So what's like your end goal? Like, obviously, do you want to be in the UFC?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
That's sweet. But I say,
the plan.
Is it to fight for specifically the UFC or just the federation that's going to be giving make it living off of it?
Bellator, UFC,
correct, right.
Don't matter too much. Obviously, UFC is the goal. The most mainstream. As of right now, things could change in the future.
Oh no, for sure, yeah. But the UFC is definitely the mecca. It's when you're at the top of when you're at the top of like Bellator, you make some money, no doubt. Yeah. But if you're at the top of the UFC, that's the mecca. That's where you want to be. Yeah. You want to be in a position like Volkanovski or any of those guys. So, who's like I don't know. We wanted to ask him like who's like your favorite like MMA fighter then? Who's like your like GOAT?
I got to go with Stipe just because I'm Croatian as well.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
From Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. What about do you like Mighty Mouse then a lot?
I like Mighty Mouse. I like watching him. He fights in 1 now, I believe.
Yeah, he fights in 1.
Yeah,
dude, he's
most decorated MMA fighter, arguably.
He's like arguably the GOAT of like MMA. Yeah, just in terms of like what he's done. John Jones is undeniably the GOAT of the UFC though.
It was pretty crazy seeing some of those dudes, they're the same weight as me and all that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty crazy sight seeing some of that.
Yeah,
sure.
I'd be able to say Demetrius. Who are some of the other big ones at your weight? It'd be like Cejudo.
I don't remember who's the champ now. I know Moreno was the champ.
Pantoja.
Pantoja is now, but some of like the GOATs like Renan Barão. Like I believe wasn't TJ Dillashaw on that weight for a sec?
He beat Renan Barão actually to
there's that weight. Yeah. Don always talk. The flyweight fights are like incredible.
They're incredible.
Like, it's like a million punches in like the blink of an eye. It's just very exciting, and like weight plays a factor. Like heavyweights can hit each other like 3 times, and that's basically a wrap.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to see like the combination spot play out and let the whole entire fight play out because the damage is just like so bad. Because once you're a certain weight, it's like getting kicked by a leg that's 80 pounds is pretty ruthless. So it's like not a lot of people can go through that. So the flyweight fights are just so like action packed. They're just like so fun to watch. It's like
more technical and scrappy.
Yeah, dude, it's just they're so fun. What do you think about like street beefs and all that?
I do. I find that stuff pretty entertaining.
Dude, that stuff's kind of
some of those dudes though. I've seen. There's some dudes who are on that who do actually fight.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, they make a career out of it. They've just not gotten around to like garnering careers out of like some of the top guys from their like their little street beefs things and whatnot.
There's some really good dudes on there for sure.
Dude, the fights that I've seen now, like they do some incredible stuff. Like they have like the Muay Thai and kickboxing on like the turf.
Yeah.
They have like multiple locations. They're launching one in London.
They have a lot of locations.
London. They're going to London for street beefs.
You know what's funny enough? Shoutout Street Beefs. I was literally on their IG. This guy was the owner of Street Beefs was on the IG, and he's like, "There's this London location that's not affiliated with us." Yeah. He's like, "This is not really us." And he goes, what we're gonna do, and like to rival that is we're actually gonna open up one in London. So basically like that's like was like the whole.
It's one way to do it.
He's like it's kind of the plan anyway, which may or may not have been. But he actually
bullshit.
decided to open it up, which is I mean, like you said, they got tons of locations, and
it
came a long way from where it used to be. Dude.
Do you actually think the plan was to go to London, or do you just?
I don't even know.
I think that's bullshit.
Regardless, street beefs is, I mean, dude, yeah, like you said, it's a good way to do. Some of those guys go viral as hell.
Yeah, they do.
What's his name? Fair Play.
Dude,
He's
anybody
pretty interesting. Dude wears like overalls,
suit.
like suspenders. Yeah.
He wears like
I saw one dude. I don't know if we're talking about the same guy, but he wears like a suit. He looks like he just got off a job at Applebee's or something.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Just talks a lot of smack.
Dude, I was watching a Muay Thai fight the other day. The guy had on SpongeBob pajamas, and you know how it had like the little like drawstring loop? He had it around his neck to keep his shorts up. Swear, like, and these guys were throwing like bombs, spinning switch kicks. I'm like, dude, it definitely came a long way, but it's still street beefs.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like some of that stuff is, I mean, there's a lot of like little organizations like that have been popping off. So Bellator used to be in like that same position. I mean, bare knuckle and all that used to be on like IG Live.
Yeah.
Just for free.
Yeah, I don't know too much. I don't see too much bare knuckle stuff going on.
I watch some of them depending on who's on. Like I've watched Mike Perry a couple times.
He's that easily probably.
I didn't even really know about it until we had one dude at our gym. He was training for some world fight or some type of big fight. Seth Schaefer, I believe, was his name.
Okay, bare knuckle.
So, yeah, that's when I heard about it. He was training at Aries for that fight.
You guys have what's the name of the gentleman who fights in Bellator at your gym?
Rel
yeah.
Hodge.
He fights. He's had a couple of fights in Bellator, right?
Yeah, he has had one, I believe, so far, but he's gonna have a few more.
Okay, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
What's his what weight does he fight at?
He's 135.
Okay, cool.
It's probably a good dude to spar with then.
Yeah.
Definitely a good guy to learn off of.
Makes me feel like I know nothing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely levels to it, and some people show you that.
Yeah, well, definitely like aspiring to have like an athlete in the gym
awesome.
who's like
shows you that it's possible.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah. And also just to learn. I mean, obviously he's getting great work. He's definitely traveling a lot.
Yeah.
And experiencing a lot of different fighters and training different places. So you can take that experience. You can take it.
Yeah.
And he'd definitely be willing to give it because I mean he's like you said he's a great guy. So.
Great guy. Yeah.
That's sweet. Who would you put on like your who's like your top 5 ever UFC?
UFC
Anything.
Mount Rushmore.
UFC. Well, we're gonna put Stipe on there.
Okay. Heavyweight GOAT. So, I mean, that's not a bad pick at all.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
he's the go to the heavyweights, dude. Regardless.
I like both the Diaz brothers.
Okay.
I think most people do.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
likes seeing a scrap where they don't care about anything. They just want to punch.
Yeah, they're stamina machines,
Diaz.
dude.
I like McGregor.
Okay.
I've been watching some of McGregor documentaries.
Where did that new one come out on Netflix?
Is it? I think it was one of them was on Netflix.
I usually just watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's
they had some pretty good ones.
I'm about to say one just came out, like one that had I forgot what the whole premise was. I think it was when he broke his leg. I think they had like a lot of filming to do with that.
Yeah, probably. It took a lot of time off for that.
His reaction to Khabib retiring in like the locker room, that was so just wow. You just see you knew that he was gonna be so pissed.
Oh yeah.
Like the second he retired.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I would like
dude.
to see Khabib fight a little more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. What is your like opinion on him? I mean, his grappling's incredible, but you give him
insane dude. I mean, if you look at his fights, does look like he padded the stats a little bit at the beginning, but aside from that, you can't get to the top level without being a dog.
Yeah.
So.
He did fight some names though, but the names at the time were not the names like it just didn't translate. Like he did fight Michael Johnson. But Michael Johnson has
fought like every
person
good
ever.
Yeah.
He beat Edson Barboza, but Edson Barboza was, I believe he's like up in a weight now.
No, he beat Dustin Poirier too. That was like the only win that he had. Like
Gaethje and Poirier were his best ones. Yeah, for sure. I would like to see, like you said, I like to see him fight.
Too.
I would like to see. He's really good.
Yeah.
I would like to see Khabib go longer, like you said. Fight like Charles.
He retired because of his dad. His dad
Yeah.
Or something.
It's just because he promised him he wouldn't fight without him.
Yeah.
So obviously he's a very religious guy and a man of his word. So and he also, not on top of that, made it public. So it's like, yeah, he's probably not coming back.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money.
Yeah.
It would be basically breaking the promise to his father. So
That's what it comes down to sometimes. I mean, they already have all the money. A lot of people wouldn't do it if there was zero money involved, you know? It's not really worth the damage you could potentially take. So once you already have all the money, already kind of proved your point.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, you don't have to come back.
That's why
that's true.
It's like the same deal with GSP. Like, everyone, for years, they begged him to come back, and he's
it's not worth the damage, you know? Eventually, you only can take so much.
Yeah.
And it's just those camps too. I mean, at that level, the camps are just, they're months and months long. It's like, you know, no contact with families and whatnot. Later in your career, I can imagine it just gets rough.
Yeah, once it gets to a lot of travel.
You make that money too, like you said. You don't necessarily need to be in there. Like the first fight I ever watched was BJ Penn versus Yair Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And he took that fight because he needed the money. Mm-hmm. And like he was already like a GOAT, solidified, made his money, living wherever, and took that fight and just got absolutely like his shit kicked in. So it's just like he took a lot of like head damage. It's just like you didn't need to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people take fights probably because they need money.
Mm-hmm.
Even in pro, I mean, like local pro, you know, you don't get paid a lot. You still make a little bit of money though.
Yeah,
Some
true.
people who lose would just keep fighting and keep taking the check, you know.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, dude, especially if you get in that position where you're like taking like short fights, people will pay you pretty well to come in, and who knows if you'll win or lose or what will happen or if it's good for your career in the end, but you'll make that money. So, like you said, people will take those fights for that money.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, you said, so who was it on your Mount Rushmore? It was Stipe, Diaz,
CM Punk,
McGregor, CM Punk.
And why?
Dude, that dude's...
Who's your Mount Rushmore and why is CM Punk?
No, who else though? Who's the last one? You like any of the old school guys like Liddell, Rampage, any of those guys?
You put Liddell on there. I did used to watch a lot of.
Yeah, Iceman.
Liddell.
Yeah, dude, he's elite.
Definitely a pioneer of MMA, like one of the old.
Yeah, like he's like one of those guys that if you had to like choose somebody to fight for your life, like that wouldn't be a bad pick at all.
For sure.
Like at all. It's like Steph Curry shooting a 3.
I think
the guy's probably gonna win.
He was on par with like seemingly a lot of those guys who like he seemed like he could have fought in like old school UFC tournament style.
Yeah,
like I feel like that would have been right up.
Any rules.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he would have been.
Right up his alley, bro.
Dude, bare knuckle would have been him.
Chuck Liddell for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, and Kimbo.
Oh,
Slice. Kimbo Slice, R.I.P. that
missed.
legend. Dude, he would have been the bare knuckle like king. That's all he would have had. He had that style down perfectly, dude. Just eat shots, come forward, uppercut, like just perfectly.
Yeah.
Dog. But he had like a heart attack, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's arguably probably took a lot of steroids. I mean, that dude
He
was
definitely
massive.
took a lot of steroids.
That dude was juiced. But I mean, he
He's
was definitely an entertainer for sure.
He still pulled out a couple wins in the UFC, which is pretty impressive. You know.
Yeah, I believe.
It's like Brock Lesnar too.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar came to the UFC.
Yeah, dude, they threw Brock at everybody.
Everybody.
Dude, they gave him Frank Mir straight off of breaking like 2 world champions' arms by armbar.
Yeah.
And then he went in there. I don't even remember who won that fight. I think Brock beat him by like short punches. You remember what I'm talking about? He just beat him up like a dad would beat up like their son trying to play around. He was bopping his head like, and the ref had to stop it.
He does like the little hammer fist, like.
Dude. He just charged at him in that one fight. Just took that guy. Like he just bull rushed him and just sweeped him off his feet.
Dude, yeah.
Brock was just a beast.
I thought
dude.
he was playing football again, dude. Yeah.
Alistair was by far him and I'd say Alistair. Who else is and Ngannou are probably like the best specimens. Like
I like Derek Lewis a lot too.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
I like him a lot,
he's
too.
hard not to like.
What'd
You
you
follow him
think?
on IG?
No, I don't.
Dude, he's a gem, dude. He posts some of the most rancid, out of pocket stuff, and it's always just like he's okay. Like it'd just be a guy going off a ski jump and just like breaking both his legs, and then he'll just be like, "He's okay." That's all he'll say. He's got a couple million followers. He's a good follow. He's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
He has the most
guy.
knockouts too.
He has the most.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
What did
That's
you?
pretty sick. I saw
what'd
his
you-
flying knee.
I was just gonna say, yeah. What do you
God,
think about the flying
yeah,
knee?
dude, that was incredible.
Would you ever throw a flying knee in a fight?
Can you?
As of right now, no, you can't knee to the head until I go pro or go out of state.
But you can knee the body,
I'd love
correct?
to. Yeah, you can knee the body. I'd love to.
Yeah, what is it?
Rel got one. Rel Hodge, the dude who fights in Bellator now, he got a nice flying knee.
Oh, really?
Knockout. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Oh, damn.
That was dope.
Like the Ben Askren one.
Oh, dude. That was a beautiful flying knee. Pereira is one of my favorite fighters. He has some of the best flying knees.
Yeah.
What is the tendency with Brazilian fighters to throw the flying knee right off the rip, or like some sort of teep kick, like crazy teep kick, like right
Oliveira, Pereira,
they love
everybody
doing it.
does it. Well, McGregor started that. He starts the fight by throwing
something crazy,
like I don't even know, dude, like a 360 heel kick. Like he'll just throw something like nuts,
the capoeira,
and just back you up, and then you'll just be like, okay, it's just to just break the fight. It's just to instantly break the ice.
Yeah,
it's kind of smart.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
I think the only one he didn't throw anything crazy was Aldo. He just threw a little inside knee.
That was quick. That was instant, right?
14 seconds, dude. He literally just.
That was so I watched that back multiple times, just how precise all those punches were.
Oh,
that
dude.
was a beautiful knockout.
It's like him in the Alvarez fight, too.
Oh, dude, I was just about to say, him versus Alvarez was my favorite. That was just
precision punches.
Or Alvarez, that was the one. That was the one I'm thinking of. That's the one.
That's the one that went longer.
He hit like 4 or 5 perfect shots.
Aldo though, he hit some perfect shots as well, dude. Like he clipped him a couple times before he knocked him out. Like he kicked his knee in, hit him with that hook, and then just flatlined him. Like that. But that Eddie Alvarez fight, dude, he could not stand up. He was just getting hit from every angle. His chin was going like a pinball machine. He was just hitting him from every angle, And he was,
that was a good one.
He was sideways falling down, and McGregor's just stepping to the side and just ripping him. Dude, he had him just beat. That was to get the second belt. That's from that picture, I believe. That's when he did that.
Dylan Dennis made it in that shot, too.
Yeah, look, you see that shit?
Somehow Dylan Dennis is in this shit.
What'd you say? What weight?
What weight did he fight?
He won the featherweight title from Jose Aldo, right?
Yeah.
And then he went up a weight to he went up to 155 and he took it from Eddie, and
now
then
he's fighting 185 whenever he comes back. I think
dude,
he'll do what the fuck you're told. He doesn't even. I don't know what. Yeah, heavyweight. That's what Max Holloway's been tweeting recently. He's like, I'm 185.
Did you
and
see
then
that?
last night he tweeted, I'm 205, and he's put a picture up with him in DC. He's like, I'm 205. Like, bro, no, but I think they're gonna fight at. I think if he fights, it'll be at 185. There's no way he's going to make it. Well, I don't know if he's just going to want to cut.
What do you think about...
It's not worth it.
What do you think about Gaethje and Holloway fighting coming up? How do you think that fight goes?
I don't know. I like Gaethje a lot. Would like to see him win for sure.
Yeah.
Holloway's good, though.
I watched the last...
Holloway's good at
the
eating
Gaethje,
shots.
Who did Gaethje knock out with a head kick?
Oh.
DP.
Yeah.
Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin got ruined.
I watched that fight.
Some guy in the comments was like, can he argue that knockout to be illegal because the kick landed on the back of his head, like it just wrapped around
his head. If you turn your head,
and then the guy's like, can he argue that was an illegal knockout? And the guy's like, dude, Dustin wouldn't even do that. He's like, dude, he knows he got clapped. Yeah, that was a beautiful knockout.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you turn your head like that,
yeah,
it's
you
your
can't.
fault.
Yeah, he ducked the wrong way. I mean, my favorite head kick was probably Leon's. That was just insane.
Leon, they were almost identical.
Yeah.
The Leon head kick and the Gaethje head kick.
And the
way they fell.
Yeah.
They both folded in the same way.
As, the O'Malley versus Sterling knockout was almost identical to the
Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo.
Yeah,
dude, almost it's just that's what the art is of it in fighting, is that they get caught in these. You get caught in this predictable perfect placement, and it can happen, or you can completely switch it up.
Yeah.
It's fighting can almost follow the same route if two fighters and styles are all the same. That's why styles make fights.
Yeah.
That's why fighting is just so sweet.
It's a lot more than just throwing fists at each other.
Dude, dude.
Ideally, how would you describe your style of fighting?
Pretty balanced, I'd say. I would say I'm prosper on the ground a little more. That's where I'd go when anything's getting rough, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that's just because I wrestled most of my life.
It's good to have that base.
Yeah, pretty confident in my jiu-jitsu. So.
What takedown do you look for wrestling style? Single leg, double leg?
If I'm wrestling, I like more low singles and stuff. But in a cage, I'm probably just shooting doubles, trying to take them down,
And
sweep their
then-
legs out.
You probably know more. You guys can talk jits, but so when you're taking a single, most of the time you're landing in like either half or side when you're on the ground, versus a double is you're gonna be in full or
Well,
like
double. The whole idea is so like if you watch my last fight, this is what we drilled the whole camp to. Me and Dom, we have this really good drill we do any fight camp, and basically we drilled the whole camp. So I took him down. You will end up in full guard unless you bring their legs to the side, then you'll end up on the side. That's the plan, is to not end up in full guard whenever you go for a double leg.
Okay.
So yeah, that was basically what we trained and went perfectly.
Okay, cool. But I'd say the only way to like immediately guarantee side guard would be like a hip toss or.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I would like to hit some throws. Throws
Dude,
are fun.
dude, they're sweet. Dude, you play video games at all?
Depends.
Do you play like
Here and
UFC?
there. I don't have it. I've played it with my friends. I'm not good at it.
Dude, like when you hit like a throw, dude, you can just hear the person on the other mic just defeated. Just even in the game, it's satisfying. It's like, oh, dude, this guy's gone. I already won. A throw would be insane. Like a Ronda Rousey toss, just right to it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Side control is like that's probably like my biggest fear. Other than like north south, it's just kind of weird.
Just getting 69 on the ground.
Yeah, but side control, like, dude, the crucifix, just getting elbowed, like punch, like, dude, I don't even know how you get out that.
How about
I would just start squirming.
the one old UFC clip of Gary Goodridge?
Yeah, so your fight's in, what is it? Like, it's a month and a couple weeks, right?
Month and a couple weeks. Yeah, March 23rd.
Okay, cool. And not to spoil anything, but you could give us a little bit of the game plan. Like, what do you think about this one?
Really just go out there, show what I know. I would like to strike a little more this fight for sure than my last one. Last time I only threw like 3 punches.
So get a little bit more striking in for sure.
I'd like to get some more striking in, but the way I'm looking at it is win however you can win.
Oh, yeah, for
That's all
sure.
that matters.
For sure. So your fight's at the Neo Sports Plant.
Yep.
That's on March 23rd. Do you have any idea what time the event starts?
Usually starts around 7-ish, but I'll probably be around the middle of the pack in terms of all the fights.
I was gonna say, yeah. Do you know where you're placed? Like towards the middle?
I have no idea yet.
Okay, cool.
I will know that probably within like 2 weeks before the fight.
Yeah, we'll definitely let people know exactly
for
when
sure.
it is. And then, like we said, check out the description for basically his Instagram, all the links that are appropriate for if you want to attend his fight.
And now a quick word from our sponsor. CutThroat Kids is a streetwear clothing brand that looks to create a community around people who know how to keep a youthful, childlike spirit, but balance that with ruthless levels of resilience and the ability to get it done by any means necessary. CutThroat Kids expresses this mentality through snowboarding, skiing, skateboarding, dirt biking, and any other way that keeps the spirit alive.
Yeah, check out the link down below to shop from CutThroat Kids directly. All the hoodies you see in the videos, everything that we're wearing, the shirt on the table here as well as the hat, everything here is from CutThroat Kids. So shout out CutThroat Kids. Thank you guys so much. Visit their website link down below. Show them some love. And make sure to click down below if you enjoyed today's episode. Click down below to get more info on Robi's fight on the 23rd, and make sure to use his name at checkout in order to secure your tickets. And as for always, like, comment, and subscribe to the Octagon podcast. We appreciate you guys. And
Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, thank you for watching.